Does the holiday season ever just feel like a blur of to-do lists and obligations? I mean, even more so since Thanksgiving was so close to Christmas this year. Like my life, it feels like everything's blending together so quickly that I feel like I'm behind. Well, what if the secret to transforming holiday chaos wasn't about doing more, but was about being more intentional with your unique gifts and superpowers? And then here's a thought, something just to chew on. What if the most meaningful moments of the season come from how you show up for others and not from what you give them? Now, my name is Jake Talbert. I'm the founder and the chief giver and author of the GIVER method. And if you've ever wished for more peace and purpose and connection during the holidays, then this conversation is going to be for you, because today what we're going to talk about is how to use your gifts and superpowers to serve others and transform holiday stress into just meaningful moments that you can have with those closest to you. Now, before we dive in, if you are new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, like the video, of course, and then leave your comments along the way. You can also go find us on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of those places. I also highly recommend that you go to thegivermethod.com and get on our newsletter list. Or you could also go onto Amazon and get access to my book that just got released, The GIVER Method. So it is on Amazon, and it is topping the bestseller lists across so many different categories. People are loving it. People are buying it for themselves. People are buying it and then giving it to others as well. So go to Amazon, get your access to your copy of the book. Trust me, it is going to transform your life and how you show up and help you to develop those gifts and superpowers so that you can just be the best version of you. Now, if you do go to thegivermethod.com and get on the newsletter list, we'll share out any sort of, tips, insights, ideas. If you follow the videos, subscribe to this channel, follow our videos, or go to the social medias and follow us. Like, we just continue to share out these ideas and tips and suggestions of how you can, unleash your gifts and really create more meaningful impact. And we want to invite you to be a part of that. Now, if you are new to the channel, welcome. You may not be fully aware of what the GIVER method is. So you can go watch it on the channel. There's going to be all sorts of videos where I dive really deep into what the GIVER method is, but let me give you the quick rundown. The GIVER method. GIVER is an acronym that basically is broken down so that people can discover and develop their unique gifts and superpowers so that they can provide value to those who are in their sphere of influence, and that they can do that through every engagement and interaction and discussion they have with them so that they can have deeper, more meaningful relationships. They can make greater impact. They can have what I call relationship riches. And what I've found is that when people develop their gifts and superpowers and start delivering value without expecting anything in return, they're able to step into who it is that they're meant to be and make that greater impact, but they're also inviting the universe to pay them back. And so I want to help you invite the universe to pay you back by going through these processes and starting to really dive in and develop those gifts and superpowers so that you can give them in that way. Now, today I want to, focus on how to apply gifts and superpowers specifically to transform that holiday stress into that more meaningful connection. Now, for each item, method, principle that I cover, I'm going to talk about, what it is and how it works, things like that. And then I'll give action items that you could go start doing today. Now, I highly recommend you grab a piece of paper, open up a note, and jot down your thoughts about those action items while we go, because I love that you're watching my video and there's a ton that you can take away from it, but it's not about what happens here. It's about what you do throughout the rest of today and this week by taking those action items and putting them into motion. So just start with something, start small and start moving through it, but grab that piece of paper, open a note so that you can jot down those thoughts as we go, okay? Now, let's dive in. Let's really explore some of the ways that you can turn the holiday chaos into, purposeful connection using those gifts and superpowers. There's some transitions and things that you have to become, some ways that you need to show up differently. Now, the first one is that you need to be what I call the peace weaver. And now this is someone who just brings the natural calm and clarity to the chaotic moments that could happen this time of year. But this sort of a gift or superpower is especially important while we're going through the stress that often comes with that runs high and comes with this holiday season, whether it's, managing tense family dynamics, which I know I've seen a lot, smoothing out logistical hiccups, or simply just being a steady presence. The Peace Weaver creates an environment where others can really breathe and connect. Now, it's not about solving every problem, but it's about being the grounding force that encourages that balance and focus in your gathering. So the power of peace, it's done subtly, and a peace weaver doesn't need to make grand gestures to make this big impact. Instead, their strength lies in their ability to just listen deeply and remain unflustered and offer reassurance through their presence. And by modeling calm, they really do create a ripple effect, encouraging others to slow down and think clearly and approach challenges with a cooler head. And so you just easily start by identifying, moments that feel particularly hectic or stressful, and then pay attention to the situations where emotions run high, like last-minute shopping or meal prep or tense conversations, and resist that urge to add to the frenzy. Instead, just pause and center yourself, and sometimes just simply slowing your breath or maybe lowering your tone can shift the energy of the room. So you also want to focus on your body language and the energy that you're putting out into the room. Open your posture, relax your expressions, and just calm your speech. It's going to help, help set the tone for these interactions. And then additionally, just be really intentional about how you respond to others. You almost have to enter it thinking, if something were to happen, how am I going to handle that? So if someone is overwhelmed, acknowledge their feelings and offer support without judgment or urgency. And so some action items, just things based off what we're talking about, is just practice those, what are the calming rituals you have? What deep breathing or mindfulness exercise, or before stepping into potentially stressful situations, identifying how you want to be intentional about it. Create a peace corner in your home, like a small space, with maybe comfortable seating and calming elements where family members can just retreat and recharge. And then choose specific moments during the holidays to focus on being that grounding presence. You can volunteer, to mediate family disagreements or offer to handle a stressful errand as calmly as possible. Now, as we move into the next one, you have to become this, connection creator. And so what that means is that you thrive in bringing people together and ensuring everyone feels seen and valued and included. During the holidays, gatherings can often bring diverse personalities, generations, energy levels, different energy levels together. People have been apart. Maybe people have had some bad blood in the past, which, can make it easy to feel overlooked or overwhelmed. And your gift of connection and being a connection creator, it is there so that you can foster meaningful interactions and create opportunities for the people in the room to bond in ways that actually matter. So being in this sort of a role often involves noticing what others miss. The quiet family member who's maybe lingering on the edge of the group, or the coworker who seems out of place at the holiday party, or maybe the generational divide at a family dinner. I know as a kid, we always had there was the adult table and the kid table. And then as the kids got older, there was like the adult table, the kid table, the grandkid table. And it's just, there's divisions that could happen there. And so by bridging these gaps, you create spaces where everyone feels like they belong and leave gatherings feel uplifted and connected. And so before gatherings, just take a few moments to anticipate, what are those potential opportunities of connection? Think about, who might need a little extra attention or encouragement to maybe join in on certain group things. If you're hosting, plan activities that allow people to just connect naturally, games, storytelling, maybe a project. We do gingerbread houses and such, and we get really competitive with it. During that gathering, the event, just pay attention to people's body language and the energy that they're putting into the room, and then approach those who maybe appear disengaged with a kind question or a warm smile, and just use your natural style, whether it's humor or curiosity or empathy, to draw them into the group. Consider, what are the conversation starters even, or topics that you could help bridge generational gaps or cultural differences that may occur in any sort of a setting. And so as action items here would be if you're going to host a group activity, encourage interactions such as, a holiday trivia game, or maybe some sort of everyone sharing their gratitudes. Commit to having at least one meaningful one-on-one conversation during the gathering with each person, and then look for the ways to connect those who might not naturally gravitate towards one another by highlighting shared interests and experiences that they may have. Now, the third one is that you become a joy amplifier. And so as you do that, you have this unique ability to infuse positivity and lightness into any setting, whether it's through humor or enthusiasm or creativity. You just bring energy and fun that lifts others' spirits. I like to think that I fall into that bucket. My family might watch this and go, no, you're not that person. But I like to feel like I fall into that bucket. And the holidays are just often filled with pressure and expectations. So this gift becomes essential in reminding everyone to just relax and laugh and enjoy the moment. Joy amplifiers, they don't need to be the loudest or maybe the most outgoing in the room. Instead, their strength comes from just authenticity, sharing their joy and in ways that just resonates with others. And this could be as simple as organizing an activity that you do as a group, or telling an old story that brings back good feelings, or creating just that atmosphere of celebration with thoughtful touches, paying attention to the experience that's going to be happening there. And so you use your natural ways to create joy to shape the mood of the gathering. If you're naturally funny, then be funny. Share stories and anecdotes, like whatever it may be, to make people laugh. If you enjoy planning events, design an activity that encourages everybody to join in. Remember to stay mindful of the group's energy. Sometimes the subtle acts of joy are more effective than grand gestures. Think about the little things that bring you happiness and find ways to share those with others. Maybe it's baking your favorite holiday treat, or decorating a space with lights, or playing some sort of festive playlist. The goal is to uplift and energize everyone while staying true to what feels natural for you. And so just plan those lighthearted moments, during any gathering, games or sing-alongs, or sharing funny moments, and observe where the mood feels heavy or tense, and then step in with a positive distraction or pivot. And then write down ways that you could share joy and authenticity, and then commit to practicing those throughout the holiday season. Now, the fourth one is that you become every family's got their tradition. So how do you become the tradition enhancer and anchor? Like, traditions, they anchor us to shared meaning and help us feel connected to something greater than ourselves. And as a tradition amplifier enhancer, your gifts lie in bringing creativity and depth to these rituals we have, whether it's by adding new layers of meaning to existing customs or by creating entirely new ones. Tradition enhancement is not about formality or perfection. It's about making traditions just feel personal and relevant to everyone, whether it's organizing that family recipe swap, or adding gratitude moments before dinner, or leading caroling session. Like, these touches help people to see the beauty in the shared experiences. And so you just take stock of your current holiday traditions and think about the ways that you could that they could be updated or personalized to reflect your family's values. For example, like, consider including maybe a service component. My family's trying to do a service thing every day. We're not doing great at it, but we're trying to. And so think about like a service component where you can maybe, you're donating to a cause, inviting others to contribute to shared projects. Like, engage family members in your process and ask what traditions they love the most and what could be added to maybe adapt, to make the experience more meaningful for everyone. When you're introducing any sort of a new idea, frame them as an enhancement on what already exists rather than a replacement of what could be there. Now, the fifth one, you have to be the gratitude guide. Gratitude guides, essentially have this remarkable ability to recognize and articulate the blessings in their lives. During the holiday season, this sort of a gift and superpower becomes a powerful tool for shifting perspectives for others and fostering deep connections and helping others find joy amidst the challenges that still happen during the holiday season. Gratitude creates a ripple effect, and when you express thanks openly, it encourages others to reflect on their own blessings and share their appreciation as well. So being this, gratitude guide, it's not about saying thank you, but it's about noticing the small things, often overlooked moments that deserve that recognition, whether it's appreciating someone's effort in preparing the meal or acknowledging the beauty in a shared tradition. Your gratitude brings warmth and connection to those around you. And so make gratitude a central theme of your holiday interactions this year. Bring gatherings with a moment of appreciation or weave gratitude into the conversation by pointing out things you value about the people around you. Use this ability to notice the details to highlight the efforts of others, whether it's complimenting the host on their decorations or thanking a friend for their support during the year. Just consider creating Gosh, you can even do physical reminders of gratitude, such as sharing, hey, we've got a gratitude jar that we're going to put things in and add notes to, or thank you cards throughout the season, like, writing out personal cards to loved ones, how do we make that gratitude even more tangible? That not only you express your own feelings, but you're inspiring others to join in as a part of that. Now, the next one is that you have to become a springboard for service. When you are a service, catalyst or creator, you ignite the spirit of giving in others through their interactions and through leadership. You have this ability to see needs both big and small and inspire others to join in these meaningful acts. During the holidays, the gift, like this sort of a gift, is invaluable for transforming a season often focused on consumption into being centered way more on generosity and impact, which is super important to me. It's kind of why on the book itself, the subtitle for the Giver Method is How to Transform Lives Through Generosity. Being a service catalyst doesn't require grand gestures in any way. It's about leading by example, whether it means organizing food drives or volunteering at a shelter or simply offering your time to help a neighbor. Your enthusiasm for serving others is contagious and encouraging to those around you. It encourages them to think beyond themselves and take part in that and maybe create that positive change in their own world. And so just start by identifying what are the opportunities you have to serve in your community or within your circle or your family, and then look for the gaps where your unique strengths and gifts and superpowers can make a difference. If you have organizational skills like coordinate a toy drive or a food thing, like if you have culinary talents, prepare meals for those in need, like share your vision with friends and family and invite them to participate in ways that just feel natural to them. You can use storytelling to inspire others. You can share examples of how acts of service have impacted your life or the lives of those you've helped. And by showing these tangible benefits of giving, you'll motivate others to join in on your efforts. And remember just to frame service as opportunity and not as obligation to ensure people feel excited about the contribution. Now, the seventh one is becoming a memory maker. And memory makers use their gifts and superpowers to create those moments that just endure. Whether it's through meaningful traditions or thoughtful gestures or capturing special interactions, they just ensure that the season's most beautiful moments live on in the hearts who experience them. Memories are often they're tied so much to that emotion, and your ability to focus on what matters most ensures that these moments are full of warmth and connection. Being a memory maker doesn't require any sort of elaborate planning. It's about just being intentional and being present. Paying attention to the small details that make any event special, and documenting moments worth cherishing, and finding the ways to keep those moments alive. Your efforts help others reflect on the deeper meaning of the holidays and carry those feelings forward. And so you can think about, what makes gatherings memorable for you and others? Is it a shared laugh? Is it a heartfelt toast? Is it maybe creating a tradition? Use whatever the insights you have on that to shape experiences that you could help create for others. For instance, you might organize, let's go around and tell stories from past, where everyone shares their favorite holiday memory, or let's prepare a keepsake, like a family photo album, let's find the ways that we can capture the essence of the season moving forward. Be present and observant during all the gatherings, and notice interactions and details and moments that feel significant, and find ways to preserve and highlight them. Sometimes a simple gesture, that handwritten note, a meaningful photo, a thoughtful reflection can turn fleeting moments into just lasting memories. During the holiday season, your gifts and superpowers, they matter more than ever. You can find all sorts of ways to apply them at a deeper level. You can use your gifts to reduce stress, using those natural abilities you have to act as a buffer against holiday stress that others may have. It could be in organizing things, or being the listener of emotional support, or the humor that people need. You just look for those moments where your natural gifts can strengthen others. They can help someone take a deep breath and remember what matters most during this time of year. You create those meaningful moments like we talked about. The holiday, it offers all these opportunities to transform ordinary interactions into those memories. And so use your gifts and superpowers to elevate those gatherings and those meaningful connections, and then find the ways that you could be uniquely present and take those routine things that could feel routine and make those activities feel like a lasting memory that can go on or become a cherished tradition. you got to focus on building those lasting connections. Like, the season always provides opportunities to strengthen bonds and bridge divides that could be there. And your gifts help create the connection across generations. It can help heal wounds. It can forge new friendships or rekindle old friendships. So that could be through shared activities or thoughtful conversations, or simply just being present in your unique way. You can build on these relationships. You can transform the chaos into purpose. Holiday chaos, it stems from losing sight of what matters most, and your gifts can help redirect the energy towards the more meaningful purpose that everyone's looking for this holiday season. Now, there are some challenges that people experience, and I like to cover those and talk about some things you could do. So there's always that, like, I could feel overwhelmed. So, the pressure of doing everything can really feel polarizing. So instead, focus on, instead of trying to focus on meeting the expectations of everyone, focus on the areas that just your natural gifts create the most impact. If you're organizing, but struggle with decorating, if you're great at organizing but you struggle at decorating, like, put your energy into creating smooth plans. Accept help, where it comes. Remember that using your strengths effectively creates more value than trying to be everything to everyone. Another struggle is, like, others' expectations, like family and social pressure, to conform to a certain holiday, like shoulds, can pull you away from authentic giving and showing up authentically. And so remember, your unique way of contributing matters even more if it looks different than others. Like, if your gift is that quiet presence rather than enthusiastic hosting, then honor that. Be genuine. Like, use your genuine expression of care through your natural gifts to create meaningful impact, and that's more important than forcing yourself into someone else's mood. There's also things like the holiday pressure. Like, the season's intensity can really be hard to stay centered in your gifts, and you combat that by just intentionally creating the spaces and the times that align with your natural strengths. If you're an introvert who connects best one-on-one, then find those things, schedule those times, be intentional about finding the quiet conversations between bigger events. If your gift is bringing joy through activity, then plan the moments. What's those energetic moments we can have? What's the game we can do that offers a healthy outlet for holiday emotion? You use your gifts to create this kind of environment where everyone can thrive despite what the pressure is. And just check in with yourself as well. Make sure that you've set the right boundaries to be true to yourself and not overwork or overwhelm yourself. Remember, the holiday season, it's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about purpose. It's about, you being tied and connected to those closest to you. Your unique gifts and superpowers can really transform that chaos into connection when you share it authentically. Now, if you're ready to explore more, like how you take gifts and superpowers, how you can, be more intentional and show up and create more meaningful impact, then go to thegivermethod.com, get on the newsletter list, or go to Amazon, get your copy of The Giver Method. It's in hardback, paperback, and on Kindle. Soon to be in Audible. It's not there yet, but soon. Get your copy of it and start going through that. If you're on the newsletter list, or if you're not on the newsletter list, go get on it. We want you to receive all of the exclusive insights and tips about creating that more purposeful impact. Now, if this video, if it resonated with you, then give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone else who might need it. And I would love if in the comments you tell us how you plan to use your gifts this holiday season. Like, your story could inspire others on what they could go and do. And just remember that sometimes the greatest gifts that you can give in the season is simply being yourself and sharing your unique way of bringing the light to others. Your natural gifts might be exactly what transforms someone else's holiday chaos into purpose. And so until next time, please just keep growing and keep giving. And remember, you don't need to do everything. You just need to do the things you want with purpose and show up and be intentional to make that greater impact. Develop those gifts and superpowers. Use them here during the holiday season. That way you can invite the universe to pay you back as we round out 2024 and get ready to jump into 2025. And so with that, I'll tell you to have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you in the next video.